Shaltsova. I'm an immigration attorney from New York. And in today's live, we are going to be discussing the midterm elections that are coming in November and plans that Democrats and Republicans are discussing or having for immigration community. We're going to see what's going to happen or potentially may happen if Republicans prevail and will take control over the election bodies, elected bodies, what changes may happen to our immigration system and process, and what we all are hoping for and what's happening, who is doing what. I think these are very important issues. I receive inquiries about them on a daily basis, and today I just wanted to share some information that I have. I wanted to share this information with you. So thank you very much for joining. Please start sharing this broadcast so that other people may join us as well. We're going to have interesting presentation today. Let me also know where you are watching from. Tell me how you're doing. And we're going to start. I see we have some people joining. Hi, Sabrina. Hi, Farhana. Hi, Sambas. Hi, Ron. I hope you all guys doing great. So, as you may be aware, of course, midterms are coming, and this is a time when people who can vote, will be deciding who they're going to join, Republicans or Democrats. And of course, those who would like to be elected build their agenda, build their programs based on what people who will vote for them want, right? And of course, also they will be taken into consideration the general mood of the society and perhaps advocacy that's going on. So let's start with that. The good news is that not everybody is sitting doing nothing. Specifically, there are progressive groups that started or increased rather their advocacy for immigrants. They are pushing Democrats to be more decisive as to immigration reform, to make it part of their agenda when they're going to be running for the elections and finally make a move. Extremely, extremely important that it's happening right now, only 2 months before the life-changing votes for many of us. And at least somebody is doing something. It's very good to see that. Of course, we all hope that we're going to see more and more of such a push so that Democrats are not going to forget their promises, especially the promises that were made during the presidential campaign. And it's a great timing for it, and I'm going to tell you why. Because on the other side, we have Republicans. And Republicans have somewhat a different idea as to what is best for the United States in terms of immigration. I promise to tell you as to what I believe is going to happen if Republicans are going to win. And I base my predictions based on the public information that's available online, information that the Republicans are releasing themselves, what they're saying. And basically what Republicans are saying and what their agenda is going to be is that if they are elected, they will be focusing on not immigration reform, but rather on border security. Perhaps they are planning on rebuilding that wall. That's a wall, you know, that wall the Trump administration started building, the physical barrier that is supposed to resolve all the immigration problems in the United States. That will be number one. Number two, I suspect they're going to go back to the issue of asylum seekers and qualifications for asylum. In fact, they voiced that they believe that not everyone should qualify for asylum. They will be targeting again the social group, a ground for asylum, membership in the social group as a family. something that they tried to change during the Trump administration, changed it for a while, and then it was reversed. And of course, I think they will be heavily pushing against prosecutorial discretion. They will again increase physical deportation, and they will again go back to basically commanding prosecutors, ordering them not to exercise prosecutorial discretion, and moving forward with the deportations, not agreeing to any leniencies. So we have this counter forces right now fighting for those who can vote. But what those who can vote want? Well, me and you, of course, we want immigration reform. We want people who are residing in the United States to get a fair chance of getting green cards, getting status. But there are polls of those who not necessarily are related to immigrants, not from immigration community, but they're voters who are going to be deciding the fates of those who cannot vote. Very interesting, right? And basically the polls show exactly what people want. There were studies done where groups that are Republicans and Democrats were asked as to what is it that they want to see for immigration. And believe it or not, even though some of the points are different as to what people want, some of the points are the same, meaning that the voters want the same thing, regardless of whether they are leaning towards Republicans or whether they're leaning towards Democrats. And I hope that both parties, both counterforces are going to take this into consideration. Number one, people want border security. They're concerned, especially those who are living at the near the border. Number two, they would like to see children who are brought into the United States as minors to receive status in the United States. Very important. Now we're talking about DACA beneficiaries, dreamers. So basically, both sides agree that something has to be done for them, right? That's a good sign for this group of people. Asylum. Third point is asylum for those who are being persecuted in their home country. Apparently, both Democrats and Republicans would like to accept people, not everyone, but those who are truly persecuted, and give them shelter in the United States. So we all are hoping for fair, due process-based asylum system. We all are hoping for children or those individuals who had no say whether or not they should be coming to the United States, but they're here now, to have access to green card and citizenship. We all are hoping to have more transparent, just security system at the border. And then, of course, there are differences. There are differences in how to achieve that. And the Republicans voters, they're leading towards stricter measures opposed to Democrats and more liberal Democrats. So this is where we stand right now. The elections are going to be extremely important because, as you see, these counter forces are going to be imposing their own agenda. And we also have to remember one thing, at least in my opinion, that elections are not only won because of social issues. We also have to deal with the economy. And it may happen that Republicans will prevail just because they may offer something that at the current time, American voters will see as the best solution for the economy issues: rising inflation, unemployment, foreign policy. And you as an immigrant probably should take this into consideration. And if you can, prepare for it. Just hear me out. I'm not saying that they will 100% win, but there is a great possibility that they may because of the economy issues, and not because their voters do not want to help out immigrants. And that's how they're building their campaigns. So if they do win, as I said, I think what's going to happen is that, and it's not happening, it's not going to happen immediately, but there is a great possibility that it may happen. The first thing that is going to fall, the easiest thing to fall, would be, or to lose, would be prosecutorial discretion. Why? Because if you put a guy in charge who is in charge of the Department of Homeland Security, and he says to their employees that here is a new memo, they will have to follow that memo unless there is a court order not to, right? Executive action is the fastest way to make a change. Then we're probably going to see something done about asylum. As I stated before, there were attempts to do this before. And perhaps family immigration. Family immigration. I have to say that what we have been seeing so far from the Democrats is not perfect in terms of immigration reform and policies that they were promoting. You may agree with me that it took the Biden administration a very long time to get rid of Title 42 at the border, right? That health barrier, health law that would stop asylum seekers coming to the United States. They also were kind of slow on public charge new regulations. They just coming into effect in December, the new public charge regulations. The good thing that they did put them in place, and if someone after them would like to dismantle them, it's going to take them considerable time, at least I would say 6 to 8 months, a year, to change that. So knowing that, you need to prepare for this if Republicans are going to be winning, right? Another sector that I think you can and should brace yourself are changes in the sector, of course, will be immigration courts, guys. Immigration courts are controlled by the executive power right now. They're not independent. The easiest, fastest change can be done there in terms of which decisions the immigration judges should follow and the procedures that should follow. So my advice, general advice to you would be, if you have a chance for prosecutorial discretion that you're seriously considering, discuss it with your attorney, go for it, because it may disappear from the options. Also, if you're an asylum seeker and you are basing your claim on social group as a family, do not postpone your hearings, okay? Try to make sure that that would go forward. At least sometimes some things happen out of your control, but what you are controlling, you try to go forward with that. So this is where we stand for now with all the different changes and agenda. As I said, Republicans were very vocal about what they want. They want the wall. They want less asylum seekers, so none. They do not want the immigrants coming in waves. They would like to stop the immigration. I have to say that they were pretty successful in stopping legal immigration, not illegal, but legal immigration. All those travel bans, COVID restrictions that started during the Trump, of course, they continued during the Biden administration as well. They were very fruitful in terms of stopping legal immigration. Tremendous backlogs in consulates for family-based visas, right? Many people who won DV lottery could not collect it just because of the delays. Sometimes people could not get the interviews. And processing times, if you look at the processing times, they are ridiculous. Processing times for provisional waiver, 2 years. For adjustment of status, a year plus, right? Long delays with work permits. So we have a problem. We have a problem. I think that whoever is going to address this problem effectively and will be able to present policies that American voters will find as sound and beneficial for the United States in general, they will win, and they should win. So this is where we stand. As I said, be aware, be prepared, and I hope you heard me. So this is what I wanted to share with you for today. Thank you very much, guys, for joining me, for contributing with your questions. And I promise to keep you updated with regard to developments in this area. So far, we have not seen any particular new legal proposals that were placed on the table and made it official part of the agenda for any of the parties, apart from the proposals that we discussed before. I know that many different groups now are going to be very active advocating for immigration changes. For example, farmers in the United States, and I actually have a new blog about this, that they're pushing the Farm Modernization Act. As you may be aware, it will provide a path to legal residency, potentially citizenship for those who are working in the agricultural sector, for example. Of course, there were proposals for dreamers. Some of them were not bad at all. Republicans, if you recall, had the Dignity Act proposal, a very long path for citizenship. But so far, those who are going to be participating in the elections, at least to my knowledge, they haven't made those particular proposals the official agenda. We just have theses, meaning what is it in general that they're going to be advocating for. But as soon as I have updates, I will share them with you. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Stay connected, and I hope to see you soon.